Now we shall demonstrate how to measure phase using oscilloscope. So we consider a simple RC circuit. So we see in the circuit diagram a voltage source, a resistor and a capacitor. So we have set up the circuit here. This is the resistor, this is the capacitor, and they are connected to the signal generator, which is providing a 1 kilohertz sinusoid. So in channel 1 we are displaying the voltage source, and so channel 1 is showing Vs, and in channel 2 we are showing Vc, that is the voltage across the capacitor. So using math function we can display the voltage across the resistance, that is Vr. So we activate channel 1 displaying Vs, channel 2 is displaying Vc, and we set up math 1 minus 2, that is channel 1 minus channel 2. So source voltage minus Vc is the voltage across the resistance. Now we see that this is the source voltage, this is the voltage across the capacitor. Because it is an AC circuit, so we see there is a phase difference between the source voltage and the capacitor voltage, and this is the voltage across the resistance. So we see that the resistance voltage is leading the source voltage, and the voltage across the capacitor is lagging the source voltage. Now we want to measure the phase difference between the waveforms. So first we shall measure the phase between the source voltage and the capacitor voltage. To make it easier, we are just turning off the math function. So we have to use the cursors. We select horizontal axis. So this is the peak of the source voltage Ps, and we set x2 to the peak of the corresponding capacitor voltage. So delta x is 152 microseconds. To measure the phase, then we need to also know the time period. So the time period is 1 millisecond. So the phase difference between Vs and Vc is 152 microsecond over 1 millisecond times 360 degrees, because in one complete cycle the angle of travel is 360 degrees. And now we can also measure the phase between Vr and Vs. So now we are just showing Vs and Vr. We use cursors again. We set x1 at the peak of Vr, and we position x2 at the peak of Vs. So the time difference is 108 microsecond. So the corresponding phase difference is 108 microsecond over 1 millisecond times 360 degrees.